You're listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more. Well, my familia, it's your boy Al Mega. Welcome to another Comic Crusaders podcast, baby, because we're bringing you the fuego. That's right, baby, because we have a storyteller who is not afraid to blend some tech, some heart, and some high-octane adventure. That's right, baby. He's the mind behind Artificial, the graphic designer turning pixels into panels, baby. And now he's dropping a brand new all-ages comic straight from the creative cosmos of Bent Box Comics. That's right, baby. An amazing independent label right there. And this book is called Refuge. That's right, baby. And guess what? This baby is live on Kickstarter right now. So buckle in, baby. Charge your imagination circuits. And let's vibe with the creator himself, the big brain, the big boss, this future superstar in the making, Mr. Christopher O'Hara. Let's get it popping, baby. Epa, let's go. How you doing?
I'm doing good. That was probably the top intro I've ever had, so I appreciate it. It's hard to live up to that hype, but I'll try.
Hey, man, you're a boss, but you got a beautiful book that's already funded, by the way. You know what I mean? So fuck that's already top business right there. But it is my pleasure, man. I get excited when I talk to brand new independent creators that are they're smashing things. You're doing things. You change the narrative. You're creating some new popping stuff, man. You're creating this artwork, these stories. Thank you. You know what I mean? Guys, you talk all this shit you want. I there's so many critics out there that can't be constructive and bashful. Like, let me see you create a fucking book. Shut the fuck up. Nah, that's just me. All right. You guys better seek refuge, because the wrath of greatness is upon you right now with this book. Hey,
there you go. I like it.
Yeah, babe. All right, so we're gonna be talking, Chris. So from Artificial to Refuge, was this a natural evolution, or did a UFO drop this idea in your head? Be honest, because I know there's been some crazy madness lately.
Maybe a little bit of both. I don't know, but I mean, I have two small kids. So I've always been interested, I almost said unfortunately. Unfortunately sounds mean-spirited.
It does.
But ever since, having young kids, I've obviously, Bluey and Disney and every kind of different kids show and movie, that's life now. So, maybe that type of evolution got me to a point where I wouldn't mind, dipping my toes into an all ages story, something that would appeal to kids and to you and I, because back in the day we used to have stuff like the old school Disney and
they really innocent comics. I thought
yeah, I mean, until you grow up and then you look back, you're like, oh wow,
ahead of the time.
yeah but they were good to both of us, like we liked them when we were kids, and then we grow up and we still like them. And so some things are kind of timeless, and they can be timeless when they are aiming for every age, all ages. So that's Chris, that's Refuge.
We need to get into that. Because we're talking about how the comics are timeless, how you're a fan. So let's talk to the origins of that fandom, if you will. What was the first thing that you ever fell in love with? Whatever it was, comics, movies, like what was the first thing you ever said, oh shit, I love this thing?
So it was probably comics when I was very, 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 very young, between the ages of like 2 and 6 or so.
You better have not been ripping the pages at 2, bro.
I know, trust me. My dad would have been doing the same. But my dad's was a collector, so he had hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of comics in long boxes and everything like that. So that was always part of my childhood was comics. But then I slowly grew into I'm a huge gamer. So I like playing video games.
But we grew up in that generation too. I mean, I know you probably dye your thing. I can't dye my beard.
I don't dye yet.
He goes, yeah. You say
yeah. I'm not gonna. I'm looking forward to the gray. I think I'll look good in gray.
Yeah, we all do, man. I love it. I'm letting it grow out, man. Yeah. Well, this is part of it, man. We grew up into that video game generation as well. I grew up, from the Ataris into the Segas and the whole Nintendo verse, TurboGrafx 16, Dreamcast. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
those were
Dreamcast
amongst
was
my favorites.
phenomenal.
I always loved the more indie side of it. Like PlayStation, I never became a big fan of cool games, and not hating, but I
Yeah.
was an Xboxer. I was a Sega guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I played
No
Sega
problem.
all the time, Dreamcast all the time. Dreamcast was
Ahead
phenomenal.
of its time, but wasn't Dreamcast ahead of its time? It's like people
Ahead of its
slept on
time.
that. Everyone slept on that fucking system, and I'm so sad they did. Cause shit, it was ahead of it. Well, Power Stone, Rush 2049, all those dope fucking. Oh, come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Yeah, it was good. That was my era too.
Capcom. Oh, come on, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was my era. And then with my dad, we love comics, so I can't remember the exact title of it, but man, there was an X-Men game on Sega Genesis that was just awesome, and I
Oh, check
played
you out. Genesis.
nonstop.
Yeah, bro.
And
Yeah.
so yeah, that was my childhood. Was all
Okay.
things pop culture and comics, video games, movies. My dad, I saw Batman Returns in theaters, and I was pretty
Oh, that's
young for
great.
that, and it was a little creepy. You know what I mean? If you remember correctly, like my age, I think I had some
Bro,
nightmares
I
with
saw
that
the
one.
OG Michael Keaton one in the theaters too. My mom's cousin took me, but I think I was about 12, 13. So I was cool
Okay.
with it, except the end I didn't appreciate because because it was Brooklyn, somebody decided to start throwing fireworks in the theater, bottle rockets. So one started, I had shorts at the time, they started blowing up by my leg and by next everybody. I was like, you know what? I'm
Okay.
never wearing shorts again. So this is why to this day I do not wear shorts, well, unless it's on the beach.
There you go. Okay. That was a pivotal moment in your life.
Yeah, and only sometimes on the beach. My ex-wife met me on the beach with fucking long jeans and Timberland boots. She's like, "What the hell are you wearing fucking boots on the beach?" So I'm like, "Don't ask. It's a long story."
It's a long, long, long story. It starts with Batman,
Yes,
but
it does.
yeah, yeah. No,
I didn't
that
want.
was me.
I'm a thug. I couldn't be talking about Batman and I'm macking on the beach as a thug in the '90s. Are you crazy?
No, you're fine. No, Batman goes hard. We all know it. So
I think so. Talk to me, baby. You are a designer turned comic creator. So what was that moment you said for yourself? Like, forget that client work, man. I'm gonna start building my own world right now.
yeah, I mean, I do. So I started doing independent game design, which is
Oh,
kind
cool.
of because I like games. So I went to college for game design at Full Sail University. They're down in
Oh, my
Orlando,
daughter went to
Florida.
for sale. Yeah, she went for
There you
graphic
go.
design, graphic, media arts. Yeah, that's she goes.
Yeah,
She
that makes sense.
graduated, kicked ass. Yeah. She busted
Yeah,
ass in that school. Great school, man. Beautiful
it's
campus. Fuck, bro.
it's an awesome campus. Did she go on campus or did she do online?
Unfortunately, it was COVID era.
Oh, okay.
She got to go one effing week on campus, shut down.
Oh
So
man.
it's like, and we went to Florida and everything for her to have the college experience.
Yeah.
And then possibly by the time she graduated, she's getting better. So they had a few on campus events, but sadly she didn't get to enjoy the campus.
Yeah.
I don't know what when you went, you probably got to enjoy that.
Yeah. No, well, I went in 20 I graduated 2013.
Oh yeah, you
And
went way earlier.
but it was so expensive, just to be honest, to do on campus that I just
It
opted
is.
for
You ain't
online.
lying, bro. Oh, listen,
Oh
that's what we're
yeah.
trying to fight right now. It's like, yo, it wound up being online. There was hardly any on campus, so we need to get a fucking discount on this fucking education right now.
You should. I would definitely argue for it for sure. But yeah, so I went online. On campus would have been a completely different story. But
Yeah. Oh man, because NXT is there and all. I was so excited because I was like, oh
it
my
was really
god, I'm
cool.
gonna go to see the NXT live events because feeds to the public, especially parents of the students. So I was like, oh man, I'm gonna get some cool footage. I'm like, all these ideas in my head, like wah wah wah. Thank
Yeah.
you, COVID.
Thanks, COVID. Yeah, what could you do? So, like, I mean, thankfully, I was before COVID. But all that said, I did. So that's where I went to school. Went to school for game development. So I was trying to do that for a while. It's a weird industry. It's pretty volatile and kind of wonky. So
What do you
I
mean? I mean, as an independent or trying to get onto,
trying to
working
get
with
on like
someone?
a regular like
Okay.
developer or
All
a
right.
company like your Rockstar or anything like that.
Okay.
They tend to just do project and then you work. It's not
So it's a
contract work,
contract or
but it's not.
project based.
But the thing is, as soon as you're done with that contract, or sorry, as soon as you're done with that project, if they don't have anything lined up, they just lay people off. And they just go, well, we don't need half of our workforce because we're not doing anything right now.
Well, thank you for the game. I'll see you later.
And I was like talking to my wife, and I said, I'm not interested in that at all. So
Yeah, that's
I tried
not
to do my
family.
no. If you're a young kid, go for it. But I had a wife and a daughter. I was like, no, this isn't
As
going
a
to
daddy, but yeah, listen, we got to keep that beard as colorful as it is.
No, yeah. Well, the stress is definitely, with these campaigns and doing comics lately, it's going great. It's going great quick. But so I did that for a little while. It was fun. I've always been very like creative, creatively inclined. Like I wanted to do screenplays or anything, games. All of my game ideas were in some way, shape, or form like narrative based, very story based. So they had characters and story. It wasn't just click adventures and stuff like that. So when I kind of got out of the whole video game thing, my buddy John had just made a book, his first comic called The Last Wand, which is actually on our website at www.bedboxcomics.com.
You mean that one down there?
I mean that one right there. Yeah. So he made that book, and it was really cool seeing it and just seeing like, oh, okay, we can do comics. Like this is a thing. I haven't been into that world since I was in like elementary school. I just moved away and went into video games and everything. That just kind of became what I was interested in. But it's always held like a place in my heart. So I decided to make a comic, and it was awesome. I made my first comic, which was Artificial, about 2 years or 3 years ago now at this point. And that kind of gave me the bug. You know what I mean? I got bit by the bug.
All right, so that's what I want to know about. How did Artificial teach you the do's and don'ts, if you will, of indie comics, creation, any comic battle scars to show?
Yeah.
No nudity.
No, trust me. I've never been into that for sure. But I mean, it was my first book, and the funny thing was, it was the first time I wrote a book or wrote a comic. It was the first artist, or the artist I worked with. It was his first comic.
Oh my God!
He's ever done.
Series all over the place over here. Okay.
Yeah, basically. So it was a true indie situation where we didn't really know what we were doing, but thankfully John had failed a lot in the past, and he'll readily admit it. And so I kind of learned from some of his mistakes or issues and everything like that. And he was giving me advice, which was very valuable because it saved me, probably tons of money, tons of time. But that said, that still didn't get into the nitty gritty aspect of making a book and, going panel by panel and flow and everything like that.
It's your first project. I mean, how did you figure this out, bro?
I just did it. So I just did it. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's easy, but I also didn't think that coming from video games are hard. I don't know if anyone out there is trying to make their own video game. It's very difficult. So like, I give a ton of props to anyone who makes a video game. It's insane. Same with movies, same with all this stuff. I would definitely say comics, I feel like, are lower on the end of difficulty, but still have their respective challenges. So coming from all those other areas, comics felt not easy, but more natural for me. Like I was like, oh, okay, this makes sense. And everything kind of just worked. It just worked. At least I think so. Artificial 2 or Artificial 1 is exactly what I wanted. Nice. Page for page, every single panel. The artist killed it. I think we nailed what we were going for. Artificial 2, I'm extremely happy with. So as a whole, my first venture into comics, I'm very pleased with. So I'm just continuing. There's no slowing down now. So in the meantime, as I work on Artificial in the background with Gabriel and everything as we can, it's a fairly expensive series. So, indies, it's, we work on it as best as we can with what money we have. So,
yeah.
In the meantime,
it's a grind, but it's a beautiful grind because
it's fun.
It's a grind with soul. And you can actually, when you do it with love, it's like, it's like cooking in the kitchen. Somebody cooks with love, that it kind of has an extra seasoning to it that you can't explain. It's the
Oh
same
yeah.
magic with comic books, in my opinion. When you
Yeah.
have that right sauce of creativity and you work like that on that grind, you know what? And I like that attitude. We get it done. This is the bottom line. You know, when we have the time, we're working, and that's the
Yeah.
attitude to have. That's the attitude of success. This is why I know, Chris. You know, shit. This is your second project. You're already funded. I can't wait. To, show this off. I mean, that's impressive, bro. You know what I mean?
Well,
And
I'm
how did
trying.
you
I'm
even
trying.
learn? How did you learn though? Because again, you said gaming is one thing, and transitioning to comics. Is there a difference in the storyboarding, the storytelling, how you explain scenes? I mean, how did you communicate, if you will,
So
with
that
your
might
artists?
be, yeah, that might be the funny part is I didn't change how I would communicate.
All
So
right.
instead of going in and looking at comic book scripts or anything like that, and doing a lot of research and making sure I learned the protocol with comics, I ended up working with the artists in a way to where I kind of just did it the way I've always viewed my creative processes, which that could be either screenplay writing for a movie or TV show, or video game storyboarding, stuff like that. Very similarly. So I just do it the same way. So I'm sure my comic book script is very different than like your standard normal person who's been doing this for years.
This is
But
a normal person. I don't think that any comic creator would call themselves normal. Normal.
typical, yeah, or I don't even know what you'd call them. They're the ones that have been in it for years. I'm sure mine looks much different, but a lot of my descriptions or a lot of my panels are very just there. It looks more like a screenplay where it focuses more on uh like camera angles, interior, exterior, stuff like that. So it reads or views over shoulder, like 3-person view, quarter view. It reads like a movie scene or something like that.
Ooh,
But I mean, if you think about it, like when I'm looking at a panel, I can imagine that's just a camera looking at a character. And so like if I want to frame that correctly, as I would if I was making a movie or a TV show or anything, or a video game scene, like a cut scene, anything like that, it's very similar. So I'm wanting the viewer to view this correctly, and I'm just gonna, say it that way. So that's how I've always done it, and so far it's working well. I've had a couple artists say that they really appreciate how I do the script writing because it helps them completely visualize what the panel should look like. But
so
that's
they
just because I put a lot.
understand your madness.
Yeah. So they I put a lot of focus on the view and everything, and then at the
As a
same time I give.
gamer, do you think
Yeah,
as a gamer that helped you?
I think so. I think jumping from like a bunch of different creative ventures helped me
Okay,
ultimately with doing comics. So I mean that's
I
just
dig
something
that.
I have to assume.
You're a boss, but you're a boss here. Now, I'm about to show this off, but this is the first thing you want to know, right? Bent Box Comics. So, we have that beautiful logo on the bottom right there. I mean, I'm excited. As I took a look again. Let me put the website out real quick right there, folks. Look at that, and I share that on YouTube, everybody, and everywhere, Facebook. Check that out. What's the mission? What are y'all building here? Is it a comic house or a creative rebellion?
I mean, you can do both, right? Maybe you can do
Yeah,
both.
let's get it, baby. Oh, yeah.
You can do both. I mean, it's more of a so it's a small press publishing house. That's the correct term or however you want to put it, because we are out working as like a publisher. But um, the main reason we created it was because we noticed that in the indie scene, and my artificial will be top example here. It's hard to compete with Big Two. It's hard to compete with those, especially not necessarily in quality. I will say that the indie scene, I feel like, are surpassing the the quality of
Well,
some of the Big Two.
I agree. There's so many great books out there that definitely, like quality wise, yeah, like Big Two, what's going on here? But again, there's something about brand and name recognition.
Yes, for sure, exactly. And so that's kind of what the thought was, is like, how do we compete with that in a way to where we are at least not necessarily, I don't want to say like better than, but just in the running, or just like the name. It's like, okay, that's also a comic book, publisher that I'm interested in their stories. So that's kind of why we started making bent boxes. Was first off, we needed something under to keep artificial under, And then as we notice, hey, I'm not going to be able to do artificial 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, monthly. Like that's not how that works in the indie space. But to kind of have something to where we have constant content and releases, we formed a publishing house.
Nice.
To where we could bring in other people with their creator-owned books. We have Orium, we have True Believer, we have a bunch of different stuff. We have a bunch of new ones coming soon that some aren't even announced yet. But that way it allows us flexibility to where, like, Orium 2 comes out next month, Wingless 2 comes out the following month, Our Monsters Volume 2 comes out in October. You know what I mean? We kind of like just do that. And that way Bentbox is constantly bringing content, different books.
You're on the shelf, you're in the view, you're in the know. There we go. That's what matters, baby. Presentation, being out there, being present, being in the right place, the right shelf.
And trying, yeah.
I'm not trying, you're doing, because you said that these books are out, so you're not trying. Creators, stop it. When y'all doing it, y'all doing it. Y'all not trying, y'all doing. And so,
we're
keep
doing
manifesting. Work those words. Those words of power, they're magic, baby. Manifest everything. You got this already. You're doing a lot more than I am. I mean, I'm doing this, Yeah. I would like to be doing an actual comic book, and I hopefully in the future will be doing one. Not trying to do one. I will be doing one.
Yeah,
I'm gonna hook up with a man like Chris over here and come up with some madness. Now, folks, that's it. It's time. It is time, baby. Ow! That Kickstarter, baby, that is live right now, folks. First of all, key. Before we move on, we have only 3 days ago. 3 días, mi amistades. 3 días, 3 days. All right. But of course, 80 backers. Thank you so much for supporting Indie Comics. Salute to you backers out there. Bless, That's how you do, man. Support Indie Comics. My man had a $4,000 goal, and he has surpassed that by only $32. But folks, we got to keep it in the safety zone. Let's get this 8 racks. Let's double this money today.
I'm down for that.
Let's go. Like the price is right. Let's get $8,000. Wow. All right. Let's make it happen. So obviously he has a video here. So let's dig into the video real quick, and then we're gonna run down into everything that is Refuge. You hear me? Let's get it.
Let's do it.
Tell me you hear it. Tell me.
I can hear it.
Those colors are popping too. Snap, that baby is live now. You saw that? You saw those colors? You saw that vibe? You felt that energy, baby? Yeah. So, all right, talk to me, baby. Talk to me. Refuge is a world that feels lived in, right? Did you kind of map out that whole universe first, or did you kind of the story reveal itself to you page by page? Blood by blood, drink by drink, whatever you do, man.
I typically let the story reveal itself to me. I do have like kind of an overarching idea, but I just write. So
sometimes, how do you get into that state of writing? Talk to me about that state of writing, creating a universe. I'm always curious about that because I mean, so many people create these whole new worlds. It's like, are you linked to another, possibly a multiversal energy? I mean, what's going on here? How do you get into that vibe to sit on that keyboard and just like fucking key away at creating something?
I would love to say I know, but I don't know. And it's one of those things where like you'll see it online. People will be like, man, I can't, writers, they'll post a meme that's quite literally like the duality of writing. And it'll be like, I hate writing, or, I hate writing and I love writing. And it's at the same exact moment. So it's a challenge. It's weird, but yeah, for some weird reason, we just have these stories in our head, and so like I have hundreds upon hundreds of different stories on a notepad somewhere, and you get a little spark of inspiration. And sometimes like I'm done with issue 2 of Refuge. Issue 2's written. I'm halfway through issue 3, and you get to a point where you just stop. Like I stopped mid-page on Refuge issue 3, and I haven't gone back to it in like 3 months. And
What?
as soon as I mentally go like, oh, that's the next part for this scene, I make sure I basically make a beeline to the computer, and then I continue. And so it's one of those things.
Just start dusting off the keyboard. Like, I'm sorry, my friend.
Well, you would think it's collecting dust, but it's not, because I'm writing other stuff. So like while I'm not writing this, I have another story that I'm writing. I have 3 other stories that I'm writing, and as I get inspiration for one, I make sure I spend some time with it. And
I'm picturing your brain at the train station that has multiple trains, and one just takes a long-term stop, the other ones go. They have their own stop, next train, and then when there's a round trip, you go back to the other one.
Yep, that's exactly it, and that's how I write. And I don't know if it's good or bad, but that's how I do it.
My man, Grand Central, and it's the Crystal Harrow station. I'm digging it. All right, so this over here. Let's get juicy. What was the first character that you designed for Refuge? And what secret power do they have that no one knows yet? That you're willing to tease a little bit.
Oh, I don't know about that. That is juicy, I will say. So this right here, is Pavel. He's our main character. He's a young child soldier, set in kind of like, I kept it very vague, but it's kind of like a Soviet era civil war happening in his land. He's been through the ringer. Everything's been ripped away from him. He's now trying to escape a bunch of enemy soldiers. He gets injured. He goes deeper and deeper into this cave to find refuge. And as he goes deeper and deeper, he discovers he's not alone. So that's kind of how this opens up, this story. And from the get-go, even though it is very cartoony in the art style, it's supposed to, I'm writing it as a very grounded story that kind of gets opened into this mystical, fantastical world.
I dig the style in comics, my brother. Don't even like say that, because this is comics. This is what it should look like. All this different views, and it looks so animated and it's beautiful, bro. That's the first thing that attracted me when you sent me the preview. I said, "Holy shit, what the." Yo, you found a gem of an artist, bro. And to say that, who you work with here? Is it the same artist from the other project?
No. So Artificial was Gabriel Fonseca. This artist, his name is Lucas Jensen. He's also from Brazil. They're both from Brazil.
Brazil is kicking ass.
I don't know what they have in their water, but it's insane. And everyone down there is talented. And so, and they're all super kind and very helpful, and they have passion. So it's a no-brainer whenever we work with a Brazilian artist.
So is this also his first project, or has he worked?
Yes, this is his first project. He's 24.
You should have called this Cherry Popper Comics, because you use Popper.
I don't know. Here, I don't know how. Yeah, if that would, it might be mixed signals with some of our books, but technically, yeah, maybe that is what we're doing.
Yeah, bro. I mean, and look at the beauty of this cover, yo. Oh man, creepy. Like, bro, I do not want to be where the hell he's at right now.
Yeah, that's the interior artist, Lucas Jensen. This, speaking of Gabriel Fonseca, the one who worked on Artificial, because I love working with him so much, and he's so talented. I typically don't do a lot of variant covers on my books. I prefer to just focus on the art that is in the book.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, listen, listen. Creators, publishers that do that, good on you. I know you're trying to get sales. People like art. I get that. But sometimes I grew up in a time that wasn't a thing. I mean, who fucked it up, right? It was Superman, Man of Steel, the John Byrne series when they did the 2 variant covers. That was kind of the beginning. Huh? Yeah, that was the beginning of the variant cover phases.
Well, there you go. Now we know. I mean, that.
Besides Indy. Indy did it before, but
Well,
that's Indy.
yeah,
You could excuse Indy to do it, but Big Two fucked it up. Now you got people doing like 12 copies of one book. You know what I mean?
that's crazy to me. I mean, I get you're a collector, that's fine, but I'm also like I just want to read the book. I'm interested in the story, and I'm
Yeah,
also interested in the the artist that actually got hired and made all 30
all the
pages or
work.
however many pages. Yeah, who did all the work, and not just the guy who got picked for the cover. I mean, it's
And no
cool.
disrespect, good on
It's
you,
cool, but
but
I'm more interested in this. So
yeah,
that
my
said,
man,
so
I'm gonna
yeah.
buy you an effing beer when I meet you in person, but we're
Okay,
drinking.
fair. Sounds good.
All right.
So I don't typically do them, but because I love Gabriel so much and
That's
I've worked
fine.
with him in the past, I asked him to be a part of it, and I asked him to do a variant cover. So that's Gabriel Fonseca. This is our cover C. This is actually once again, I wasn't planning on doing 3 covers, but I ran into an artist up in Ohio. I grew up in Pennsylvania, so I'm familiar with the area.
All right.
I looked at his art on his Instagram, and he does very like Calvin and Hobbes style art.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
And since that's kind of the vibe of the comic, is a very like Calvin and Hobbes type vibe, I just had to, I asked him, I was like, would you be interested in doing a variant cover? He said, yeah. So that's Brian Middleton out of Ohio.
That looks great, man. That looks
Yeah, so those are our 3
fantastic.
variants.
So let's talk about these deals, because folks, listen, you could make a pledge without a reward, starting for simply as $1. But when you want to start getting involved, baby, right there, your digital PDF, standard cover A version for $4. This is digital deluxe cover for $6. But now, when you want to start smelling that ink, yeah, baby, smell that ink and have that shelf porn, that box porn, wherever the hell you store your shit. This is what you need. You're starting at $8 right here. Cover A physical. $10 for the 2 different variants over here, the B and the C. Which they look for. How many pages we get in these books, bro?
I believe it's 24 currently. I'm actually
book, okay.
Yeah, it's a standard comic. And I'm actually playing around with potentially adding some new pages soon. As the script's done, but sometimes you like to rework stuff as you work through it with the artist, and every once in a while you add a page or something. So, but it's around your standard comic.
Oh, I like this is a great deal. So normally, if people get the 2 covers plus the OG, all of them will be 28. But guess what? They have a collector's bundle. You get a little discount for 25 beans right there. And you also get the PDF. I think that's a great deal. So you don't have to bend those copies. You go ahead and frame them. Put them up on your wall. There's a monster bundle, all the covers plus every campaign related add-on. Jesus. So what we got? We got a sticker sheet.
Yep.
We got a poster pack. Yeah, man. You know what? That first cover though, no lettering, just no lettering, and maybe just the bent box logo on the sleeve.
Yeah.
T-shirt.
No, yeah. I'm planning on doing that for sure.
Yeah, don't even put Refuge maybe on the back of the neck, but leave just the image of the character and then bent box of the sleeve. 3 spots of this of advertising you could do. Like, yo, what is that? Trust.
I like it. I have a couple shirts with bent box as the sleeve logo.
Hey, word. You get see, my man is definitely from my he know.
Yeah, I like that look.
Oh shit, you got coloring book stuff. I love coloring books, man. It's one of the most peaceful. Listen, at 50, I don't give a fuck. I would admit I like to color. Like when I want to relax, I smoke a blunt sometimes. I will sit back. I got colored pencils and I have a cool Marvel book and The Walking Dead and the Spawn. Sometimes I just color a page. It's just it feels good.
Yeah.
And I do them in my colors. What the fuck I want to see.
Yeah. That was I wasn't necessarily imagining you doing this, but feel free. I think you'd have a lot of fun. But yeah, I figured
color too. How dare you, Chris? Judge us.
No, it wasn't my first mental image. Was you? But I was planning on having many people color. That's why I came up with the coloring book. And I was imagining, I have my 2 small kids. They like to color. So I was imagining like going through this book, especially since it's all ages.
That's cool.
And just allowing people to color the book their way. You can color the beast your way. You can make him, red or blue with polka dots. And it would just kind of be fun to tell it your way.
Yeah, man. I dig this a lot, yo. Great idea. And yeah, man, I think even adults would catch, again, we collect comics.
For sure.
To get in that. So don't leave us out. Sometimes make it maybe a
No.
little bit more complicated. That'll be fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, listen, we got more tiers left to be open. They're still stuck in the snow. We got to get them bags, baby. You got to open them bags, baby. Let's get that bag. You feel me? That's what he's trying to tell you. Let's get the bag, baby. I mean, look at
Yep.
the team right here, bro. You got Chris, you got Lucas, man. And look at it. It's comics for a cause. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. I love when people do things from the heart. I already felt that energy from you. So talk to me. What you doing here? What is this?
So this is another part of Bentbox that we really wanted to kind of set ourselves apart. And I know, as well, as far as much as as well, the indie scene tends to be more like infighting and drama, and that's how people
Oh,
get. That's
I,
how people make their money.
Yeah,
And
nah,
I'm
I hate that. Let me just say this. I've been doing this for a minute. I've been on this next year. Comic Crusaders will have existed for 20 years,
oh wow,
and to see the growth of indie has been great. But the sense, as you said, as it grows, instead of people being supportive and genuine with one another, you have this like novela, like a Mexican novela type shenanigans going on. You're like, oh my, I got
yeah,
come
I
on,
don't really,
Oh God,
I don't get
stop,
it.
stop, stop. Let's celebrate. Let's support. Let's chill, man. Stop throwing shade. Stop throwing the hate. You know, don't blast no one. How about maybe DM them and ask proper questions. Have a conversation. Don't do shit in public either. I think that's so embarrassing. It's gonna do damage to your career because when people see that, listen, people do dig into your past, and when they see shit like that, the likelihood of you getting a wonderful opportunity, that's going to be a closed door because of shenanigans. Let's do things privately, not open door, all right?
Yeah, I mean that's just the new way people do it now or a lot of people do it. And I mean that's how they make their money. A lot of people get their followers based on drama. So
Oh no, yeah,
it's
I don't engage
it's
in it. Listen, I'll
me
tell
neither.
people I'll be at this X Con. If you want to deal with me, I'll be at X Con. See me there. Whatever
Yeah,
happens,
and they
happens.
won't. They won't.
That's
But
all. Don't talk to me.
yeah.
I'm not Mr. Thug. I'll talk to you in person. I don't do this shit on the. Why?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
good. I'll talk to you like a man. I'm a man. I'll do
Well,
like this.
that's because you and I came from a different time. You know what I mean? That's how you used to handle things. So Comics for a Cause was a way to set ourselves apart.
Yes.
We kind of wanted to make it to where we were giving back. Thank you, Tommy. We wanted to give back to the community and also make a difference with our comics. So what we decided to do with this was some of our books would go towards certain charities or nonprofits, things that were based or things that aligned with the premise of the story or the impact of the story or maybe the people that we were aiming for with the story. That way it didn't just feel like a grab for like, oh, we give to this charity over here. It's like, well, that gives no reason for it. So instead, we put a lot of time and energy and thought into it. We have 2 books currently already involved in the Comics for a Cause. One is Blossom. This gives back to the Smile Train Foundation, which helps children with the cleft lip and palate all around the world. Wingless gives to Tiny Superheroes, which is a really cool charity that gives like capes and patches and all this really cool stuff to kids in the hospital, and it's just cool. So we really like that idea. Refuge, thankfully I had a meeting with the organization, which was fun. If you scroll down just a smidge, you'll see we are partnered with an organization called World Vision, and we are a proud supporter. So we gained that badge by making this book. But
Beautiful.
Refuge, at its heart, is about a story of a displaced child, a child soldier, who, is in theory a refugee. And so he has been displaced from his family. Everything's been taken from him. And so we wanted to find a way to partner up with a charity that would make sense. And so World Vision helps children or child refugees around the world.
Oh.
So that is what this book and the series will help go towards. The other cool thing is, if you're not familiar with it so far, I don't know if you noticed, but there are no speech bubbles. There's no narration. There's no dialogue in this book.
You went primal on this, baby.
Yeah, it's a silent comic. So
okay.
The reason why we did that was if we're going to be giving to children all around the world, other than obviously your sound effects, you get some sound effects in there, but
Yeah.
otherwise there's no dialogue. If you're going to be giving to children all around the world, the easiest way to lower that barrier to entry would be to not have anything necessarily needed for translation or anything. So like say a child anywhere, Africa, South America, somewhere in America, any kid could pick up this book and enjoy it the same as you and I could. And so that's kind of the reasoning behind making it a silent comic.
Let the
And
heart tell
also
the story. Because again,
the
that's
art tells the
enough to
story.
know. And then again, exactly, that's the narrative. I mean, it's the combination of your words that my man translated into artistry, a beautiful thing. So you guys obviously have a beautiful collaborative, symbiotic relationship here. Apparently, yeah. I mean, who's Venom here? Is it you or him?
Probably me, to be honest. I would have to
You
guess
think
it'd be
that?
me.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! Oh man, Chris Venom
Luke,
O'Hara, baby.
Lucas is a sweet kid. He's a little,
All
he's only 24. He's getting his feet wet. And he's doing his first comic, and
right. So Luca is little old Peter Parker. So this is the beginning stage of the Venom. This is the origin story.
yeah.
I
I'm
dig it.
looking
I
forward
dig
to
it.
where it goes too, because he's so good. I already got other ideas that I want to work on him with. So as soon as this series is over, we'll be doing more, I'm sure, because he's
So,
killer.
how many issues we looking for? Period on this storyline.
Between 4 and 5.
Okay.
Like I mentioned, I kind of, it's just going to be a nice limited series. I have it's got a specific beginning, middle, and end, a through line that I want to get to. So not like a long running series.
So are we
And
gonna
I
get
give
our heart broken? Are we gonna get our heart broken, Chris?
well, it's for, so if you remember old school Disney, people died all the time. Like someone had to die.
Thanks. Yeah, this guy's gonna break our heart, bro.
Someone had to die right in the beginning too. So this story is, as much as it's all ages, it also deals with a lot of legitimate heavy topics. So like I have a whole section that's based on it's PTSD and how a child would experience that. And it's going to be an interesting read. I think everyone's going to really enjoy it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be lighthearted, but it's also going to be heavy in areas. I try not to pull many punches whenever I'm writing, especially if it's for kids, because I've said, I mean, it's not for kids, it's for everybody. But if I want to make it to where kids are, able to read it, I have to keep that in mind that, kids are also in this world. They experience it just like we do. And, the world isn't all sunshine and lollipops. It sometimes really sucks. So
the innocence is taken away so early nowadays.
Exactly. Which isn't what I want to do with this book by any means, but I want to allow it to be a way to just rediscover that, and it'd be a fun adventure. So
yeah, but listen, you hear this, folks? I mean, if you're not compelled to want to see what this story is all about, I mean, I don't know. You guys are heartless. But listen, this only has 3 days to go. Let's support an amazing independent creator. I mean, it's already funded, but we want more. We want more. Let's break. Like I said, let's make it double in 3 days. Again, I know those tax returns are coming in. I know y'all getting paid the next couple of days. Don't be playing with me. Get that paper and support independent comic books. Because this is the lane. This is the night. I mean, again, I'll just show you these colors. I mean, look at that art. Look at your kids are going to love this if you're a parent. And if you're an adult, you know what? You're gonna love this too. Mm-hmm. You're gonna dig it, because again, when he said, again, it's wordless. You have only sound effects. Again, my mind immediately went to that great animated series, Primal.
Yeah.
So it's like you're a fan of Primal. I think you're gonna dig this then. Absolutely. Yeah. You're just, it's not a caveman, it's a kid. Remember this, and it's wartime. Something's going on. So you're gonna feel probably that same energy through the beautiful artistry and storytelling. So I'm excited for this. I can't wait to. I'm sure once you do the 5 issues, you're gonna do a graphic, right?
Oh, for sure. Yep. Well, I have a lot of plans for it, so I'm very excited. We just got to get there. This is the opening. This is the chapter 1. We need chapter 1's the only way to get started. So we need a bang. You know what I mean? So I need some help.
HBO Max. There we go. Some animation right here. You heard?
Yeah.
Look. It's here for you. Some new stuff. Yeah, baby. Let's make Chris O'Hara the next great animation creator came in the business, baby. Now, final one, my brother. Final one, right? But not final. I got 2 more. But this one does important. If Refuge had a theme song, what genre would it be? Is it epic orchestra? Is it some boom bap hip hop? or is this some straight up synth wave madness?
That's actually a great question. So I have this isn't so the theme song. I actually already created a lyrical.
Oh, you did? Oh, check you out,
trailer
my
for it.
man over here, bro. Hey,
But I don't know if it'd be. I wish I could just send it. I should have sent it to you, but that way it'd be easy. But it's this really creepy version of oh man, what is it called? It's Charlie or Charlie and Chocolate Factory. Not Charlie
okay.
though. Wonka. Yeah, Willy Wonka.
Oh, Willy Wonka. Okay.
So it's the like, come with me and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. So it's that, but it's really creepy and ominous. Man, it just fit the trailer perfectly. And so I made sure I've made a couple like reels and on my TikTok. If anyone has seen it, I've already kind of like associated a bit of a
give me your
song
TikTok. Oh my god! But I got Insta,
Bedbox Comics everywhere.
So same thing. All right, so my man owns the name, so check out those TikToks. Right, you know what I'm going to do it after this shit. You're going to see some likes coming from Comic Crew. Right
I'm
after
down.
this.
You'll see it.
I can't wait to check those out. I dig it, man. We're having fun today. Creating, talking comics, talking some stuff. Chris O'Hara is the man. This is my last question, though. I mean, are you going to be making? This is con season. You're going to be making the appearances anywhere where people come in and shake your hand, get to know you, or are you waiting? You waiting?
Yeah. So we try and go to as many cons as we can. I actually have my first author signing at a comic book shop in Sarasota, Florida, because that's where we're local to, is Florida. Cool. So if anyone is in the area of Sarasota, Florida, it's called Dark Side Comics. Highly recommend going and hanging out with me this Saturday from noon to 3. I'll be there signing books, and we can hang out and it'll be fun. Other than that, we just go to as many cons as possible in Florida.
Cool.
So if there's a con in Florida, we're going to try and be there. That's typically the rule.
So MegaCon, all that good stuff.
Except for MegaCon, because it's so hard to get into.
Why? Like, I just can't. I mean, it's a great show, though. I mean, listen, I when I lived in Florida, I went 2 years in a row. I was shocked by the love comic creators got. The artist alleys, the creators, the small publisher aisles, if you will, traffic. Yeah. People were buying. Everyone I asked said, "Oh yeah, we made our money back immediately." I'm like, "Oh damn, okay." So I feel like it was a good environment and actual fans go.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've actually heard mixed reviews. I've heard some people say that it's just so overpriced and so hard to get into that by the time they go, I'm talking about like as a vendor, they they have to like pay for a hotel, pay for whatever, and then it's like they're not making their money back. So
we made our money back because I teamed up with Geek Fest Film Fest. We had a booth, and we did a giveaway, a raffle giveaway, and like families, everybody. Let me tell you that I had charities mad at me. We were doing it to fund the table.
there you go.
So and just give away things, but at least pay it for the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And let me tell you, for $1 a pop and even freebies, we had like maybe 90 people in front of our table at one point. For the raffle. Charities are looking at us like, oh, look at these guys. So what? They only paid $1. They didn't care. And you know what? Everyone got something, whether it was a sticker or a pin. We made sure that you didn't walk away empty-handed, though.
Yeah. There you go.
That's the energy of indie and comic book community, baby. Show the love, do the giveaways, and I just wanted to put, because I had a lot of creators give me books. So part of the giveaway was always handing up an independent book to them.
Yeah, that's good.
Check this out. Yeah. So they were digging it. Oh, a lot of them were like, "Yo, I discovered this book at so and so. That's awesome. Thank you." You're like, all right, bye. So anything we can do to help, that's what we're here for. That's what we're Crusaders.
Yeah, spread the word. It's good. But yeah, we'll be at as many as we can. Some of the big ones, some of the small, most of the small ones. But yeah, we'll be there. We actually are throwing our goal is we threw our own Comic-Con this past April.
Oh, sick. Check you out. Refuge Con, what was it called?
So it's called Con at the Arcade. I wish. It was called Con at the Arcade. And it was actually a deal I made with Dave & Buster's. Are you familiar with Dave & Buster's?
Oh, fuck no. You did a con at a Dave & Buster's stop. That's cool.
It was pretty,
I like that.
It was pretty cool. So the first one we ever did was in April. It went pretty well, specifically because it was the first one, and there were so many people who were like, wait, what's going on? Like they just peek in and they're like, oh, okay. And then they would walk in and buy stuff, and it was constant traffic. So it was really cool.
Nice.
We're planning on doing our second one.
How
This
many? Wait,
October.
wait. I'm curious here. You fucking with me. I like this. That's yeah. You got to start this. They'll have a congress over here.
I have a lot of things planning with Bent Box. We're not messing around.
Like, how many tables were you able to get into a Dave and Buster's? How many vendors were you able to get in there?
So it was definitely one of those like it's a conference room,
Okay.
right? Similar to like a hotel. Like if you go to like more of the smaller cons that are like in a hotel conference room and stuff like that, it was more like that. I think we had 25 tables. So
damn,
it wasn't.
That
but
is
it was
not
enough.
fucking bad, bro. Stop. I've been
Yeah.
to veterans cons that have fucking less tables than that.
So I mean, it was enough to have a full room, and it looked really nice, and everyone had
Nice,
enough
Papa.
space, and it was nice. But the fun thing is, so that was in the conference room. The fun thing is the general manager at the end of the day came up and she goes, "That was awesome. I think it went very well." And then she said, next time we're doing this, I want to give you the entire dining room area.
Oh shit! Stop, bro.
So
you about to close down a David Buster's, bro. My man,
Yeah.
the O'Haraverse is in the building, baby. Holy shit!
We got plans, man. And since it's Dave and Buster's, the other cool thing, so we're gonna do that this October. Hopefully, have a whole dining room area that we're gonna have a ton. And
if you do this, please let me know, because my family's still out there. They're in Titusville.
Titusville.
So,
okay, yeah.
So, I could go. I have a place to stay, and I'll go drive down to the show. Shit.
Yeah.
And have some fun.
No, that'd be awesome. I think it's gonna be great. I'm looking forward to it. And the one benefit to it, though, the one like I said, Bent Box doesn't screw around, and typically it's because my brain doesn't stop working. Yep, down there, which you'll see Con at the Arcade if you go to the website. But the one thing that's really cool about it is because it is Dave and Buster's related, and because we have worked with Dave and Buster's, the plan is to just become the con at Dave and Buster's.
Oh man.
AKA, if you have a Dave and Buster's near you, you might see Con at the Arcade coming some Saturday. There's one in Tampa, there's one in Miami.
There's one in Providence. There's one in Providence. So if you need help, I'm 45 minutes away. Let me know how I can help bring that out here. Through you.
That would be the plan,
and make it happen. That way you could bring it up to the coast, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, that would be the plan.
MA connection, Rhode Island connection. Let's go.
Maybe in a year or two we'll be up the coast. So that's my goal.
But don't start no East Coast West Coast war with no death row type of version of you over there. You know what I mean?
No, I don't do that. No drama here. I'll bring it to the West Coast too. We'll have Con at the Arcade everywhere. I don't care.
You're about to be the Biggie of comic shows at Dave and Buster's. I can't wait. The best in the game. I'm excited now. You got me excited with that. I think that's a wonderful idea. But folks, listen. So what you guys got to do? You want to stay up on the news? Want to know what up? Please follow Bent Box Comics as it sounds. Right, the link is below. It's also in the show notes. All right. You want to follow my man? He locked down all the socials from what I understand: Facebook, X, YT, TikTok, all of them. It is also Bent Box Comics. But the primary thing to do today, the most important thing to do with only 3 days left. I mean, again, we're at 4,077. Our $4,000 goal. That's wonderful. 81 backers now. 81 backers. Wonderful. Check that out. So check it out. Refuge Chapter 1 is an all ages action adventure series. Support it today, baby. Support it today. Only 3 days to go. So show the love. Let's get it overfunded. Because I know how people act sometimes with those late Johns, and I don't like that type of behavior, folks. You support these creators, from the beginning, and you keep that money in there. Fuck your rent. Your landlord could wait. Right? The electricity could wait. Comic books. You need that self porn. You need to show it off so you can make those awesome TikTok videos saying, look what I got today. You know what I mean?
There you go.
That's right. That's what it is. So again, Chris, bro, thank you for your time. This is it. Okay, this is my last one. This is what you need to do. The floor I need to give to you. All right? Okay. So this is it. I need you to do this. Why should someone right now drop everything, and I mean everything, to back Refuge on Kickstarter? Now give me that straight type of pitch, baby.
So Refuge is a one-of-a-kind story that has a ton of heart and is going towards a great cause. It's for everybody. I make the comment that it's all ages, and what that means is if you're an age, it is for you. So you will enjoy it as much as your kids will enjoy it, as much as your niece and nephew will enjoy it. Anyone you know will enjoy this book. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's got a lot of heart, a lot of love, a lot of passion goes into it. And at Bentbox, the one thing that we've been saying is, there's a lot of small press publishers that you can look at. They're all doing pretty good work, and we're proud of the whole community. But I do think Bentbox is where you're going to find banger after banger. So, and this is no exception.
Well, you heard it here, folks. You heard it here. Banger after banger. Dropping that fire, that fuego. You know what it is, man. My man is on the streets giving you the best game of the business when it comes to the independent comics. That's what it is. He's slinging that rock, that crack rock. That's what this comic book is. That crack rock, man, is going to get you addicted when you find that fire. Listen, you get a nice little preview that's free, but that's it. It's the preview is free. You can't get the whole book. You can't get the whole shebang. You want that goodness, you got to chip in, make it happen. The contribution you saw is low, man. A low starting point to get even a physical edition. To smell that ink, and it includes even a PDF. You know what I mean? So get it done. Mm-hmm. That's what they're doing here. Bentbox Comics, the future comics. Support the Kickstarter today. And with that, Chris, man, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you. To all of you Crusaders that were tuning, I see you guys being quiet out there, but it's all right. Just make sure you support, independent comics. This is Al Mega, Chris O'Hara, Comic Crusaders in the building. Hasta la próxima, baby. Wepa! Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.